Hey there. Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here in the bunker, in the basement, going live because I've got high speed internet down here in the basement and I'm not in downtown New Albany. We're live from Borden, Indiana, as we are tracking the situation here. You can see that we have tornado watch that goes kind of bumps up to I-65 in Kentucky and Indiana until 9 p.m. We're starting to see some severe thunderstorm warnings from Bloomington, Indiana, down to severe thunderstorm warning stretches into Paoli, Indiana, so in Orange County, and then into Du Bois County. So those are the red colors that you see there. The purple color, all those counties are under the tornado watch again until 9 p.m. So this is what we are watching for you, just making sure everything is good audio visual wise as we get going here. Feel free to drop in a comment. So I'll be with you as long as there is the severe weather threat ongoing here in southern Indiana. And I can go ahead and bring this up full screen. At times, I'm going to clear up the map so I can just see the radar. Other times, I'll bring up some storm reports. Other times, we'll have the warning. So we're going to go back and forth with that. But here's again what we're looking at with the live radar sweep. You've got the purple, that is the tornado watch. And then the red colors, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings. So a severe thunderstorm warning for only about 4 more minutes for the potential of some hail and some isolated damaging wind gusts. So if you can see on your screen there, that is showing the potential of hail up to about an inch in size. And this storm motion is northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So you'll just want to be inside if you are there in Orange County. You can see around Birdseye and southeastern Du Bois County, kind of surrounding the Potomac Lake area. Jasper, some heavy rain. In Shoals, Indiana, if you're familiar with that area, a potentially severe thunderstorm might get some pockets of some damaging winds there in Lawrence County. That storm, that sky, if you look out your west window there around Bedford and Mitchell, is turning darker and darker. Nothing happening in Louisville and for most of the area at this time. And a lot of the weather model data does have the southern end of this line kind of filling in over the next couple of hours as it moves into the area. As we get towards sunset, we lose that daytime heating. We're going to lose some energy, and severe weather threat will diminish. But look at all the severe thunderstorm warnings that cover back up full screen here for you. So we've got severe thunderstorm warnings with this basically this entire line from northeastern Indiana. I don't think I've ever seen this. So let me go ahead and bring the telestration on. So all the way here from the northern tip of Indiana to the southwestern tip to Evansville is covered in severe thunderstorm warnings. So these are all severe thunderstorm warnings. I don't think I've ever seen the entire state, the entire Hoosier state, covered in a severe thunderstorm warning. Pretty crazy. So a very strong line. And then there is a tornado. The only tornado warning I see, that's going to be in the purple there. That is off to the northwest of downtown Indianapolis. And let me see if I can get a click on that. So it's tornado warning there. That's storm moving northeast at 47. That's radar indicated. And so that there is just off to the northwest of downtown Indianapolis. All right. So that's the only tornado warning that's happening right now. Pretty ragged line as we look off to the south. This is going to bring torrential rainfall. You know, we have the tropical air in place over us. Potentially some damaging wind gusts. The main threat for us is going to be damaging wind gusts. So we might have some wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Now, when I was down here in this basement tracking severe weather, I think it was May 16th. So about a month ago, we had 3 trees fall in the backyard. And then 2 months before that, right around March 20th, I think, we also had a severe weather event and a tree fell on the roof of the house. And my mom just had Serve Pro, I believe, come out, and she found a branch in her attic that went through the roof. Then they fixed the roof, and so they were up in the attic today, still fixing some of the ceiling in her bedroom. So I don't know why, but my mom's house has been the target of severe weather 2 times this spring. So we all know the drill here. Just be calm. And if a warning is issued, we know what to do. Get to your place of shelter immediately. Have that plan ready to go. Have those cell phones charged. Just got mine charged up. That tornado threat is going to be low overall. And as we look at the situation here, as we bring it back up, there is more wind energy the farther north you go. So that's going to be where you have more shear and more potential for some rotation. So central Indiana, for now, it's not going to take long for this to move through, has that higher threat of some spin ups. When you go farther south into Kentucky, then you're running out of as much wind shear and wind energy. So the severe weather potential is going to be energy. And you see those storms are more robust up there towards Bloomington and heading towards Bedford right now. So that's one of the storm tracks there on this storm that I could go ahead and bring up full screen as well. So that storm there near Bedford, it's basically heading through these areas right now. Some of these times are going to be central time, by the way. Pretty much all these are going to be central time. But there you can see those storms, or perhaps not. So heading into Mitchell, that time frame, 440, Paoli 443, Orleans 443, in Nashville, Indiana at 452. So that's the programmed in time frame of that storm with that severe thunderstorm warning. So if you are in the Bedford, Indiana area, heads up, you've got that storm right on your doorstep. You might be hearing it, some flashes of lightning, maybe some hail involved here. When you see the more purple colors, we see that just to the southwest of Bedford, Indiana. That is where there's the potential for some hail. Now, in this tropical air, a lot of this hail will melt. So not a primary threat. And as we look a little farther to the south, as we go toward Paoli, just going to take our time here. French Lick getting some of that heavy rainfall, and Paoli as well. And then you've got a hail core, it looks like here, moving into northwestern Crawford County, just to the north of Birdseye, where there is a severe thunderstorm warning. So a lot of colors on the map as we are tracking this round of strong to severe storms. And you know, the tornado watch, it does go until 9 p.m. But once we get this leading edge through here, that's kind of work over the atmosphere. So we might be able to cancel that tornado watch early. So if we can get these scooting out, then we'll shut down the live stream and we'll be all good for the rest of this evening. Just going to check out some comments here while I leave the radar up. And let me bring up one thing here before we look at some of the comments. Also, I do want to mention, while we're just starting off our live stream, I'm meteorologist Ben Peine, by the way. I can go ahead and put that in here for you. That is Peine. We're live streaming on my Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, and Extol Media on YouTube. And I want to bring that up because I want to remind you guys, like my mom, who's upstairs, you can always go to Extol, Extol, on Facebook. So we're obviously live right now here on Facebook. And there is my live stream right there. That'd be weird to be watching the live. Oh, there it is. I'm live and there's the live stream at the same time. So there you go. My mom watches the YouTube version so she can bring it up full screen on the living room television. So I want to mention that. Like, subscribe there, head to Extol Media, and you can find our live stream there. And my live stream is every morning as well, too, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., Ben at 10. And we're going to try to bring this one up here. This is extolmag.com, extolmag.com. There is my live stream happening right now as well. And you can look at the interactive radar. There's a lot of different tools here for you. I show this off every morning. Of course, there's my 7-day forecast, the weather story that I posted, the timing of those storms coming in, 4:35. So the timing was pretty good that we gave you earlier this morning. This is a look at the current temperature. So the air is juicy. If you've been outside, you could feel it. So the current temperature, 85, feeling hotter than that. You see all the lightning strikes as well. and all of the severe thunderstorm warnings. So the different products are going to have different colors for the severe thunderstorm warnings. That the other live radar has red, and this has yellow for the severe thunderstorm warnings, this interactive radar. But again, look at almost all of central Indiana from north to south. Again, I don't think I've ever seen this in my entire career as a meteorologist, a severe thunderstorm warning all the way through Indiana. So, basically National Weather Service is saying, hey, anywhere along this line, we could pulse a severe thunderstorm warning. Well, let's just basically warn the whole thing. We'll look at storm reports too here in a second, since the storms aren't on top of most of us. And so we can look at the history of what these storms have done. Starting to see a few lightning strikes as well in western Kentucky. Here, as we look at the interactive radar. This is, again, you can do the exact same thing at the exact same time with me at extolmag.com/weather. I've got the temperatures turned on. I've got the alerts turned on. I can turn on the wind speeds here. You can turn off, you can click on the alerts. It brings up all of the information that you would need there. And it shows what right there in the middle. If this is on the big screen, you can see all of this. Severe thunderstorm located 12 miles west of English, Indiana, moving northeast at 40. For your protection, move to an interior room to the lowest floor of the building. Tornado watch remains in effect until 9 p.m. Eastern time for south central Indiana. Also, that includes Metro Louisville as well, and areas west of I-65 in Kentucky. So, and then this is a huge severe thunderstorm warning that goes from Bloomington to Bedford. And there you can see the where, what, and the areas affected. So this says, you got Bloomington, Bedford, Washington, Bloomfield, Spencer, Shoals, Ellettsville, Mitchell, Lagodi, Worthington, Odin, Ulitic, Elnora, Montgomery, Swit City, Steinsville, Newberry, Crane, Candleburg, and Alfredsville. So a severe thunderstorm warning located along a line extending from 8 miles west of Spencer to 10 miles northwest of Jasper, moving northeast at 40. Remain alert for a possible tornado, it says. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement. That's where I am. My mom, my grandma are upstairs. My grandma is 98 years old. She doesn't like to seek shelter. So if we get a tornado warning, you might have to see me get up and go up there and grab my 98-year-old grandma. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. There you go. So there's a lot of tools out there that are free and easy to use for you at home. You don't have to go out and download an app. This is very easy to use. Again, at extolmag.com/weather. So that's the live stuff there. And our live stream, you can just hit play right there. And that takes you to the YouTube. All right. Enough of that. Let me go ahead and bring up some of the comments here. And we had a British guy say hi. That was earlier when I posted that we were going live. And I'll leave the radar up so you can see this full screen as well. All right. So that line of storms just out to our west. I'm going to get to the comments. I wanted to look at one last thing here. So that's right. So if we're going to go from like New Albany and draw a line, these storms are 40 miles out to the west of New Albany right now, moving to the east northeast at about 40. So that would put it about an hour or so out from impacting, say, New Albany, areas along I-65, Metro Louisville. So then you're talking about 5:30. So heads up, that was kind of right on time with the weather model data that we saw this morning. All right, so I'll leave that up here for now. I'll go and take off that line right there. All right, Beverly Haggis, good afternoon from Borden, Indiana. I'm going to pop up the comments while I say them as well. And Teresa Thomas, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. The sun is shining, not good with the weather coming our way. Yeah, we got the sun out there today, mid to upper 80s. I was curious, too, what our current heat index value was, because the dew points that measure water content in the air are just off the charts. And so you got plenty of fuel for the storms, what we call CAPE, the convective available potential energy. So the current temperature in Louisville now is popped to 88 with a heat index. Get this. Anybody want to guess? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to guess in the comments. What is our heat index without cheating? Temperature is 88 degrees. The dew point is 73. Florida Caribbean tropics out there right now. Exactly the same air as basically Miami, Florida. So what is your guess? Temperature 88, dew point is 73. What is the heat index? Jennifer Chase, holy cow, that is crazy. And Kathy Scott says, heading your way, Trimble County. Trimble County eventually will likely have these storms in the next, I'd say, hour and a half, 2 hours on that motion. D. Allen, when is Louisville at risk? Heads up over the next hour as it moves to the east. So hopefully the good thing is we get this in and out soon enough. Then we can get rid of the tornado watch. Just got to get these storms to blow on by. Right now, Indiana, the bullseye, as the cells have not yet developed that much in Kentucky. Around Owensboro, there's a cell, but it's definitely more broken and less developed over Kentucky. There's more wind energy, more organization for these storms in Indiana for now. So there you go, D. Allen. We got Barb Rainbolt. Hello to you. Vicky Berger is back. Regular viewer of Ben at 10. Thanks for watching. Andre Goatley. Hey, Andre. Thanks for watching. I mean, I've known Andre forever. He's been a great storm spotter, watcher for so long. Betsy Dudley, stay safe. We've got a hello from Mike Sievert in LaGrange. David Smith says Inception. Candace Jones, Madison, Indiana. I would say you're looking at a couple hours-ish, hour and a half, 2 hours. Looks like that line will be heading your way. El Devo, in the basement. I am in the basement, my mom's basement, actually. I would be at my house probably, maybe not on the back deck. Sometimes I do Ben at 10 live on the back deck, but I've got Starlink, and when the storms come, it can definitely interrupt the signal. My mom's got the direct Ethernet down here, so I've got a good line of high-speed internet. And, the neighborhood that I'm at, where my mom lives, my grandma lives, right across the way is where my family is. So the technology is awesome to be able to do this basically from home. Is Lillian Lasley, is Litchfield at risk? Well, Litchfield is under the tornado watch until 9 p.m. We're going to have to watch out for some cells down that way that could become strong here over the next hour. We'll just have to wait and see. This is nowcasting, meaning we're not really using the weather models anymore since it's very, very close. We just have to watch and see how it develops. Diana Hart says, everyone stay safe. And Mary Dale said, Ben, if you're in a bunker, that doesn't sound good. Well, I'm in a basement. I'm in the safe place while the grandmas are upstairs. Zach Wilson, thanks for watching here. Diana Peine, my stepmom, so tired of this. Everyone be safe. Yeah, we are all tired of this. I mean, every month, March, April, May, June, we've had severe storms. We are well practiced in the severe weather category here. We need to get the rain out of here. Now, when we dry out, we're going to go ahead and do a heat wave this weekend and the next week. We're looking at 90s. Oh, we got the guesses coming in. What is the heat index? So Mike Sievert just tuned in. Will it get bad in Oldham County? Oldham County is under the tornado watch, so definitely be alert over the next hour and a half or so here. We'll hopefully get that through. So the answer is 96. Mike Sievert with 98. So great guesses, guys. We got Donna saying 95. Catherine, a little bit above that, 105. Jerry Crawley, happy to be here with you. Diana Peine had a guess of 95. Very close. One off. David Kroom, thanks for watching here. 96 on the money. Laura Adams wins the heat index guess. Sherry Higdon, you were very close. Lillian Lasley, 100. A little bit above that. Orlean, glad to see you're taking care of us, Ben. Glad to be here. Easy to do. We've got the technology to do it. So Michelle Baird, how about Corden? We live in a mobile home. So as we zoom in here what's great about this, I can just be your personal meteorologist. Just ask a question, I can zoom around. We've got time to do it. So Corden's right there. We're going to have to watch that cell out to the west and how it develops. This cell northwest of you is more concerning. I'm going to zoom into this. So heads up Hardinsburg. We may have to watch this. It's got a little bit of a hook and a hail core. So there's a severe thunderstorm warning on that. A little spin-up tornado can't be ruled out in this atmosphere. So that is not far from you in the Hardinsburg area in Livonia. It's through southern section of Orange County right now, heading towards 37 south of Paoli. Is just northwest of English. You can see that is not what you want a supercell to look like. Not only hail, but also it looks like it's starting to get a little bit of rotation as well. Hopefully that rotation is on the weak side. Let me go out of full screen here. We'll get back to some of the comments here in just a second as well. I'm going to switch this over to the base velocity. So when it doesn't look like it's super strong right now. You've got 30 incoming, 30 outcoming. So it doesn't look like we have, a big tornado threat right now. There is some rotation. You don't want green next to the red. That means there is rotation. So as I bring up the telestration, this is heading into the radar. Green is heading into the radar. Red is the raindrops going away. So there is some broad rotation in this cell. And so I'm watching it. National Weather Service is watching it also very closely. Let me get rid of the telestration there. Where is that? And I'm going to need to clean up this map here in just a second, get off some of these warnings and everything. But so that is off. Let me go ahead and put on the distance here from Hardinsburg. That is about 13 miles west of you there in the Hardinsburg area. Let me go ahead and bring back the regular looking radar that you're used to. And then, so I would say heads up Hardinsburg there in southwestern Washington County, as that's moving off to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. We go ahead and take off the distance tool there. And we will analyze this storm. We'll go ahead and bring, so that is a severe thunderstorm warning, a storm motion northeast at 41 miles per hour, potential hail size about 3/4 inch, maximum wind gust possible 70 miles per hour. So as that moves through right now, south central Orange County, you just want to be seeking shelter as that is moving about over over Highway 37 here in just a moment. And then we can, so in the way of this storm, this is southern Orange County. That's West County Road 560. Go ahead and plop that on there. And then where there's some rotation, South County Road 450. Plop that on there. A lot of county roads. If you know these roads here, there's State Road 37. And so south central Orange County, that's the strongest thunderstorm we have right now. Let me go ahead and clear those out. And then Paoli, you're getting some of that rainfall. Orleans, torrential rainfall coming down. Let me go and bring this. So that's just out to the west of you, Campbellsburg. So all my friends there in Washington County, right around West Wash High School, you can see some big storms heading your way. Not seeing much hail, just torrential, tropical rain over Mitchell, Orleans, and up to Bedford. You guys are getting it really good here in Lawrence County, Indiana. And if you're around Louisville, if you're around New Albany, where is Lawrence County, Indiana? That is about 40 to 50 miles northwest of you. Go ahead and take off that tool right there. So right now, the big bad storm's off to the northwest of Louisville and around New Albany and out to the west of Borden right now. If we get lucky, perhaps these severe thunderstorms warning will skip to the north, and maybe there'll be some areas that kind of get in the gap and kind of miss out on that severe weather threat. But pretty amazing how large, once again, if you're just joining us, there are severe thunderstorm warnings from the northern tip of Indiana, east of South Bend, near Fort Wayne, down all the way through Indianapolis, all the way into our area. Thankfully, I'm not seeing any tornado warnings at this time. Tornado watch until 9 p.m. We get this line through here quickly enough, then we will likely see this tornado watch expiring much sooner. Zach Wilson had a guess of 96 for that heat index I asked earlier. 96, right on the money there. Laura Adams with a woo-hoo. And let me know how it is in your area as well. We've got Deborah Brand here in Paoli. You're watching live. You can tell me live. We can match up what you're seeing with that ground truth, what's happening on the ground. And then I can also make it not look so colorful. There's, I know, a lot going on the radar. So I can take off. We can kind of clean this up so you're not seeing as much going on. And then we can kind of go back and forth between the the watches and warnings. And also, just really quickly, I was going to take a look at the storm reports from these storms, see if we've got any so far. Okay, here's the storm reports. This is at 3:50 Eastern time. Thunderstorm wind damage, a tree blown over, and that was so from these storms. That's what you want to look for. Why are there warnings? Well, they've had a history of producing some damage. So let's go to full screen. Look at some of the storm reports here up around Bloomington. That just came in at 4:32. That was only, about 15 minutes ago or so. Wind gust possibly around 70 miles per hour. Estimated 70 mile per hour wind gust out of that. And this is at 4:25 in Du Bois County. Power poles down at the intersection of Omega Drive and West Division Road. 4:30 in Du Bois County. Tree blocking one lane of travel there. That was from the emergency management. Tree down blocking both lanes from emergency management. That was at 4:20. So even the southern tip of these storms have had a history of producing some isolated wind damage. So that's why the storm reports are so valuable. They go into the National Weather Service, and I can pass them along as well. Out wet when these storms already moved through a little bit earlier this afternoon, right on the Indiana and Illinois county, or Indiana and Illinois state line. Got 60 mile per hour wind gusts, power lines, tree limbs on a residence there in Wabash County. So a lot of tree power line damage from the storm reports that I'm seeing so far. These storm reports are coming in pretty quickly too. That's good to get that information out very soon. So these storms, again, have had a history of doing some damage, putting down some locally damaging wind gusts. The worst gnarly looking cell that we see is south of Paoli right now, about to cross over State Road 37. So that's the one that looks the nastiest at the moment. And we'll get back to that here in just a second. So we're on here live with you. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine, and we're going to keep an eye on these storms. Want to remind you, if you are just popping in, you can also watch live on our YouTube channel. There's my live stream right there. And go to Extol, MEDIA, Extol Media. And subscribe there, hit the subscribe button, then you'll see my videos pop up Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and easy to get me there on YouTube on your big screen. And if you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch, but please like and subscribe. Hopefully this content will be very valuable to you, if not now, in the future. And then there again, extolmag.com/weather, a lot of interactive tools that you can use as well. So there's a look at the interactive radar. Look at the live temperatures, which just super muggy out there, mid to upper 80s, feeling like the mid 90s outside. I can see, I'm looking out the window. If I turn the camera around to my mom's backyard, I can see the sky getting a bit darker out there. You see all the lightning strikes that are involved, frequent cloud to ground lightning strikes. So these are lightning factories, just so we can see the rainfall a little bit better. I just turned on the alerts. There we go. So there we are here. So here's a look at all the lightning strikes, and that cell there near Patoka, that kind of crossed over Patoka in the south central Orange County, that bright purple area indicating the potential for some hail there. All right, let's go back to the product we were just on. So here's the live radar sweep. We'll kind of keep an eye on this British guy. What's going on right now? We are tracking a severe threat of severe weather in Indiana and Kentucky. Okay, let's go back to some of the comments here, and we'll get back to, I'm going to leave the radar up full screen so you can see what's happening as we go along. And this is my little laptop here is chugging on a lot of data, so we might have to do a refresh or reboot on the program if it ever does lock up. Deborah Brand, I have rain. We've got rain and sheets here in Paoli. Thank you, Janet. Chastain. Gwen McClintock in French Lick. Thanks for watching from there. Robin, the line is broken. Hopefully Louisville can kind of get in that gap between thunderstorms. But if not, it looks like it's about an hour away or so right now, maybe a little bit less than that. We're just going to watch and see if the southern area is going to fill in or not. It's kind of really broken. So right now, the worst of it kind of stops there in Orange County and Du Bois County, where we've had, again, some reports of some damaging wind gusts. Lori Daly, will the wind get high there in Ekron? It's certainly possible. Again, you're south of the worst of it right now. If we get that to pass through, and maybe you can dodge that. So a little safer in Kentucky at the moment, which hasn't been the case with several of the storm systems that we've had this season. Sunny but cloudy there in Valley Station. Thank you, Laura. And we've got Dave and Ashley Beard there in Rego, Indiana, near Hardinsburg. It's very windy. Our electric keeps flickering. So they're in near Hardinsburg. All right, there you go. Yeah, watch out for that storm just out to your west. Let me know how you guys do. Definitely seek shelter if there's a warning in your area. Ray Owens asking about the knobs. Again, we're going to have to watch this over the next hour as it gets closer and see how it does. Ryan, sorry, like I said, Ray. Oh, Laura was asking, what was that heat index? 96. So Ryan, next hour, just be alert to the potential of a severe thunderstorm warning. Deborah Brand's got raining and windy in Paoli. Got Angie in Orleans. Hoping for that gap in Borden. Yeah. Chris LaGrange saying that. Yeah, we got to just kind of watch how this unfolds. I can show you a weather model that updates every hour. If you watch the show, from time to time, you may have heard the HER weather model, the rapid refresh weather model, the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. So let me go ahead and bring up the future radar. And the model of choice right here is the HER. We're going to put this at 4 p.m. and let's see. So this is about an hour behind. Let's go to 5 p.m. and let's see how the weather model is initializing. And it's doing a really good job. So right now it's 5. This is 5 on the weather model, and it's pretty on it. Maybe just slightly behind what's happening in real life. We go forward an hour. All right, so this is interesting. Let's go ahead and bring this up. This is at 6 p.m., the weather model data. And you can see that line is just not filling in too far south. But we'll have to watch. We have to watch it there on that southern end. See if we get any storms that could pack a little bit of a punch. So that is the HRRR weather model, doing a pretty good job. The worst of it, look at these bow echoes that are going to be possible here over the next hour in east central Indiana. So heads up to my family in Richmond, Muncie, Connorsville area. That could bow out pretty nasty. So what's a bow? Like just like in archery, right? You get these bowing segments. You get this inflow jet to kick it. The jet comes down, bows out, pushes out that rain, and that's where you can get some wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour. Now, the issue with the bow, if there's a couple bows like this, these are called bookend vortices, and you can get some spin-up tornadoes, EF0, EF1 style, on these ends that we'll have to watch out for. So that is something to watch there in east central Indiana. That's where the worst of it is looking like right now. All right, back down. The southern end of it. Very juicy atmosphere. It is ripe. It's ready to go. So this is at 6 p.m. Everybody asking what time it might be heading your way. This is looking at the future radar. Let's go to 7 o'clock. So now we're talking this moving towards Madison, east of I-65. There might be a couple straggler thunderstorms that are kind of strong on the back side of this that, maybe didn't. I doubt they would be severe. Typically, you're going to see the severe on the front side of these lines of thunderstorms. if it fills in, so this is the HER weather model. It has it filling in a bit, moving through Louisville. This is around 6, 7 o'clock time frame. But again, that may be just a little bit behind what's actually happening in real life. 8 o'clock, then you're starting to see it fill in a little bit more in Kentucky. And in Kentucky, you're farther away from the wind shear. The higher winds are in central Indiana. That's a good thing. You get farther south, and these might be heavy rainmakers. Might get some flash flood warnings to watch out for, and also frequent lightning. But you're not going to get that rotation. That tornado threat's going to be really low the farther south you get, south of I-64 and south of the river. Notice it's not real organized looking there. This is around 9 o'clock, and then this is at 10 p.m. So after 9 p.m., after the tornado watch, yeah, there can be still some scattered thunderstorms, some downpours through late tonight. But then we're back to the Florida-like pop-up downpour style stuff that wasn't severe all week long. Just puts down heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, your garden variety stuff later tonight. So there you go. We're going to see still the potential of some rain through late tonight. This is at midnight, and this is at 1 a.m. So the front has not moved through. This is all way ahead of the front. The front's going to move through likely at some point tomorrow morning. And so tomorrow we'll still have a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, but the severe weather threat's going to be very low. Now let me take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer real quick. I'm going to back this up to 5 o'clock time zero now at 5 o'clock, and it is way behind. So notice that this model is lagging behind. It doesn't look quite as realistic as the HER weather model. This is at 6 p.m. where the storms already are. This is an hour behind this weather model. So you kind of got to throw out the timing of this. But you can see it does try to explode the southern line more. We'll have to see that if that actually happens. So either way, through 9 p.m., just watch out for that threat of severe weather. And I'm covering southern Indiana mainly, and Louisville, and parts of Kentucky here a bit. But as this moves into Kentucky, and the threat moves out of Indiana, we'll kind of wrap things up. And then you can go on to, WNK, Weather Now Kentucky. George does a good job there. You can look at any of your local newscasts as well. I'm sure they will have some coverage if there are any warnings with this. But that kind of looks like it turns into kind of a flood threat for parts of Kentucky later on tonight. Slow movers kind of going over the same areas. Not good as far as a flooding situation. Some of you know about that flooding recently in Kentucky too. All right, let's get back to the live radar as we bring up the live sweep here. They've expanded, it looks like, a severe thunderstorm watch east into around Cincinnati and into Ohio. In the purple areas that you see here, if you're just joining us, that is the tornado watch. And then we've got an expansion of a severe thunderstorm warning that goes into Washington County, into Salem this weekend, near Hardinsburg and east of Paoli. So that's good. The new severe thunderstorm warning that we have, this goes until 5:45, so 45 more minutes. This is moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. Max hail size, it says 1 3/4 inches. I think that's probably a little bit bigger than what we'll see. I haven't seen reports of that yet, but maybe 1 inch size hail in some of the bigger cores, and maximum wind gusts possibly up to 70 miles per hour. So that's for you in Salem, northern Washington County, up there around the Muscatatuck River. Watch out. And then as we look up to the north, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that is in advance of that line that's moved through Bedford. That includes all of Jackson County, Indiana. So with that warning, that goes until 5:30. So about a half hour from now, that says maximum hail size 3/4, maximum wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. So right now, all the action just off to the northwest. And for Seymour, if anybody's watching that for you, so that's only about 15 miles to the west of you guys. And let me go ahead and back out of this. put on a track with the more simple radar looking view here for you without all the warnings and everything on it. Got the update on the warnings. Let me get rid of the track here. And so this line, let's go from here down to, oops, let me delete that. There we go. All right, so off to the northeast, about 50. I'm going to bring this up full screen for you. And so on that storm track, we've got that moving northeast about 50, heading toward Salem here within just a few minutes, right on your doorstep into Brownstown at 5:15. You're going to have to give or take. Sometimes they speed up, they slow down a little bit. Seymour 5:25. So you're looking at about 20 minutes. Crothersville 5:30. Austin, Indiana 5:34. Scottsburg 5:35-ish. North Vernon about 5:45. Into Hanover at about 6 o'clock. And into the Holton area at 6 o'clock with the potential of some damaging wind gusts. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning there. Back that out. I'm going to clear that track. So that is our southern Indiana active weather right now. So behind that strong thunderstorm is another strong thunderstorm. So that storm really didn't work over the atmosphere too much. Notice that heading towards French Lick, another strong thunderstorm there, maybe a little bit of hail. I haven't seen too many hail reports so far. And just looking over some comments, Deborah Humphrey, thanks for keeping us informed. You're welcome. Out of Borden. Angie Sparrow just quickly poured in thunder. Seems to be calmer for a minute. Thank you, Angie. Sarah asking, in Campbellsburg, I'm out of town and worried for my boyfriend. So in Campbellsburg, sorry for that super fast zoom. There are some storms, some severe thunderstorm warning. I don't see any tornado threat right now, but very heavy rain, maybe an isolated damaging wind gust. You can see more storms out west towards Orleans and Mitchell and French Lick. So just kind of wait it out. There you can see that once this moves through this back edge, say maybe another 20 minutes, half hour there in Paoli, French Lick, you can see some more storms just out to the west of you. Zooming into downtown French Lick and West Baden Springs. Go back to full screen here. You can see that next storm is moving through the resort areas of Indiana. Cruising down 150 to Paoli. That worst of that storm has moved east of you, heading towards Livonia right now, down 56. And then it's going to be heading towards Salem. Again, maybe some hail in that, isolated damaging wind gusts, torrential, blinding rainfall out of this. Then up to the north, Mitchell surrounded by the tropical downpours. Bedford as well surrounded. Almost all of Lawrence County, Indiana, dealing with the heavy rain, the lightning and thunder, and maybe some isolated damaging wind gusts as well. All right, let me go back out of full screen. I'm just going to pop up just the severe thunderstorm warnings. So that's what we have right now. All right, let me get back to some comments, questions. Okay, so Genessa Collier in Salem. We were in the fairgrounds. They said take shelter in the commercial buildings. Yeah, I would take shelter. If you got a severe thunderstorm warning, definitely always take shelter. Stay inside. Thankfully, no tornado warning with that. And Dana Buckner just tuned in from Greensburg, Kentucky. So you're going to be looking at later on tonight as we look south into Kentucky. You know, there's just a few little showers there off to the west. We're going to watch this and see how it fills in through the nighttime. So later on tonight, like not worried about tornado threat for you there in Greensburg, but perhaps a flood threat late tonight as the storms are going to be slow to move through. So that's kind of what we're watching there for you guys in Greensburg. Looking at Laura, hopefully nothing severe for the valley. We have clouds building in the west, but nothing severe looking yet. Perry Porter, thanks for keeping us updated. You're welcome. My daughter Hannah, do I need to head home around 6? Why don't you head home now? How about that? Just in case that storm, which is just out to the west, fills into the south. Look at Hannah dropping into the show for the first time. All right, just north of Campbellsville. So we got thunder and heavy rain. Winds have calmed down there. So Patty, they're at 508 coming in from Campbellsburg, Indiana. Right there. So you had one cell move through. You got another, but look out west of you there. Patty, you've got some more storms on the way. You're on the northern tip of a heavy downpour there. But as I bring up the distance tool, west of you and just west of Orleans, about 12 miles west and 18 miles west, you still got some more strong storms out that way. And again, it looks like the worst so far is in central Indiana. You can see it's moved through downtown, moving towards the Greenville, Fortville area. Of course, I've got family up that way. Patty Brown, thanks for tuning in here. Lillian, thank you. We need that. We need those good vibes there. Hopefully no tree will fall in the house this time. Yeah, we've had like 2 for 3 with the trees falling on the houses. Moving back out of this, and I'm going to bring up a different view of the radar. I'm going to turn off. Just checking some stuff out here, looking over some comments as well. As I mentioned, if we don't see that sweep starting to go, sometimes we might have to do a little bit of a reboot on that. So looking at the base radar there. So again, lots of different tools here. I'm going to bring up this. And a reminder here, as always, you can watch on YouTube, Extol Media. Thank you for liking and subscribing there. That's what my mom is watching upstairs. And we are going to look over some comments here while look at that. It says 90 there. Just, again, like Florida. So this is a look at the interactive radar. Look at all those lightning strikes at extolmag.com/weather. So I don't have the lightning strikes on the other weather program. I've got them on here where you can see if you've got, your phone or whatever in your hand. Severe thunderstorm watch for Carroll County. Just looking at some updates here. But look at those, like hundreds of lightning strikes. That's what you're going to get in this tropical air. Frequent cloud to ground lightning. So it's going to be loud as they move through. Lightning factories, no doubt about that. So really at heat index values in the mid 90s. Mary, is Oldham County going to get hit hard? Hopefully not. We just got to watch it. This is called, again, nowcasting. Hopefully that south end doesn't fill in too quickly because that severe threat right now shuts off pretty quickly. I mean, kind of right on line there if you look out to the west. But if that south end continues to fill in, we're going to have to watch out for more areas near Louisville for that severe weather threat. But we're watching it. We're watching it. David Baines just laughing at me here with the LOL. Thanks for watching. Betty Logston, you're much appreciated for watching. Jerry Alter, same answer there too. Just kind of really watching closely the southern end right now. It's all in Indiana at the moment. And Mary Dale, when is this over? Is that all for the evening? Not necessarily. So this is not even the front. The front will move through tomorrow morning. The severe weather threat, yes, it should end here over the next couple of hours. I do think that tornado watch will get canceled earlier than 9 p.m. But then you may still have some thunderstorms late tonight and some heavy downpours, but we're not worried about severe weather. We're back to just the garden variety thunderstorms that we had before. Oh, it was laughing about Hannah. I got you. Is Robin, is that something trying to get going west of Louisville? Yeah, we'll get back to that live radar here in just 1 second. Just checking out the comments. And thank you guys for getting in the comments and asking the questions too, and guiding the show, guiding us along here. All right, so let me, so we are live here, Mom's Basement. And real quick, let me go ahead and bring back up a program. So bear with me. I'm directing traffic here. I'm thinking, I'm talking, I'm pushing buttons. All right, so we've got live radar back up. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that again. Zooming into what the situation is right now. Right now, I just have the warnings on. If you wanted to see the watches, that is the tornado watch, the severe thunderstorm watch up to the northeast around Cincinnati. So our tornado watch bumps up against I-65, a little east to in Indiana over towards Madison. Let me take off the watch there, and then turn that off. I'm going to turn the level 2 live radar back in, and we should see the, ooh, look at that live scan. Look at this technology. It's crazy. All right. Let me take off the live scan. That's too much. All right, let's go full screen here. Severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing in Jackson County, Indiana. Seymour, it's on your doorstep. We gave you that timing just a little bit ago, so it looks like the timing was good. Severe thunderstorm warning for 28 more minutes, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible, and large hail. So there is the information on that. This is moving to the northeast at around 50 miles per hour on that severe thunderstorm warning. That storm motion at around 40. Anywhere from about 40, 50 mile per hour is these storms up to the northwest. Robin, I don't see much happening west of Louisville right now, thankfully. Now, these guys are starting to pop up on the very south fringe of that severe line, but they're not severe. This is just off to the northeast of Borden, just west of Henryville, and then west of Palmyra, right between Palmyra and Milltown. There in northern Harrison County is a little bit of a downpour too. No big deal with that. And then not severe. You can just see some showers out west of Hardinsburg. We're going to just kind of see this evolve here with time. I do think we're going to see this fill in more in Kentucky later on tonight. But that severe weather threat is going to be low in Kentucky. Severe weather threat low. Maybe watching out for a bigger flooding threat with all of that. You can kind of see that motion of these storms moving off to the east-northeast. So we zoom in a little bit closer. I'll leave that up for you while I look over a few more of these comments. Jackie, I agree 100%. Mother Nature has not been kind to us so far this year. Yeah, way too much rainfall. I mean, my ground around my house is a sponge. Thankfully, I can't mow the yard right now because it's too wet. But I went to Jacoby's over here in Sellersburg, Finally, instead of filling my mower tires up with Fix-A-Flat, we're actually going to get new tires. So they said they would have it ready by tomorrow. So thank you, Jay Jacoby out there, for getting me some new tires. They actually had the tires, which are not common size, in stock. So going to give my mower a little bit of a gift, a birthday present here, because I have had some flat tires recently and a lot of yard to mow. Beverly Haggis, it's getting dark and wind picking up on Daisy Hill Road. Thank you very much there in Borden, Indiana. So yeah, there are a couple downpours that have been kind of passing through the Borden area. Here's your radar loop as the storms are moving northeast right now through Salem and Paoli. Paoli, you had one round. You've got this last round now moving through. Let me go ahead and get my face out of the way. So there you go. There's your loop. You've got another storm. Again, one storm goes. Here comes another storm for Paoli. Hopefully that's it for that severe weather threat for you. There is not a warning on that back end storm, by the way. Then up here to Bedford, Indiana, our friends up in Bedford. You can see that storm has passed to the east of you. It's now cruising down Highway 50. Medora's already had some heavy rainfall, more on the way. Brownstown just starting to get into some of that heavy rainfall. Seymour, you can see that it is now right in your backyard. So we're looking at the potential of isolated damaging wind gusts, heavy torrential rainfall, and frequent cloud to ground lightning. If the thunder roars, stay indoors, is the old saying. And then how, again, is it going to fill into the south? We should go ahead and bring up some of the weather model data and check that out again, because we'll get hourly updates as well with the high resolution rapid refresh weather model, which does a pretty good job. It was doing better than the NAM 3 kilometer. Vicki Berger with a report here. Lots of lightning and rain in Salem, Indiana. No doubt about that. Thank you for that report. We can go zoom into Vicki's area there. You definitely have a lot of rainfall over your area and up 135 towards Brownstown. Same situation there. And Jackie Gordon wind picking up off of Daisy Hill too. Thank you for those reports there. All right, speaking of reports, let me go ahead and bring up some of the latest here from the Storm Prediction Center. All right, let me see if we've got any new reports here. Okay, so local storm report at 4:43, so about 50 minutes ago, Greenbrier in Orange County, Indiana, about quarter-size hail there out of that earlier storm. That's the storm we were tracking, if you were watching earlier, in south central Orange County. So that did put down some hail there. And then up north, thunderstorm wind gusts 62 miles per hour in Brown County, Indiana. So with those storms that you see there. So we're still looking at the potential of some isolated wind gusts. Thankfully, if you're tuning in, yeah, we got a tornado watch still, but thankfully, we do not have any tornado warnings. Just severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. All right, I'll take off the watch since it just gets a little bit too colorful. So these are the radar has algorithms. It can pick up on these cells, and you can click on the cells. That's moving northeast at 46 miles per hour. That little cell out just right on the Harrison and Washington County line. And then we got this cell in Paoli moving at 56 miles per hour to the northeast. So we got 46 and 50. They're doing their best to estimate how fast they're moving. That one's at 40 miles per hour to the northeast, north of Salem. So those are the storm tracks. It gets a little too cluttered if you have too many of them on there. We can do a tornado vortex signature with the radar. Thankfully, we don't see any tornado vortex signatures. That's when the winds are rotating. So I click that on. We don't see any of that. We've got the potential for hail detection here. Severe hail probability is only 10%. So there is that potential for some hail near Paoli. We are seeing those purple colors right there. Maybe 3/4 inch size hail near Paoli. Maybe just north of downtown Paoli, a little bit hail there. Hail detection here, 0% of severe hail there in eastern Lawrence County, Indiana. And then in that storm over Brownstown, 10% severe hail probability, 3/4 inch size hail. So the hail product's not showing anything severe with the hail, thankfully. Although we did have that one report of some possibly inch size hail, which can do damage in south central Orange County about an hour ago. Looking at Louisville, you've got your first little downpour here. I'd say near the Highlands. Whoops, a little too close there. Just east of downtown Louisville. There you can see a little shower popping up. And then west of you guys in Breckenridge County, some showers out that way. But there's just way more wind energy for these storms up to the north. All right, let me go and we'll go and put this back in a loop. Actually, I'm going to check out while we've got a little bit of a, looks like, okay, real quick, new warning, severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Jennings County, Indiana. So this is an extension of the warning that covered all the way through Seymour. So this is now moving east at east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour, potentially about 3/4 size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So that is all of Jennings County, Indiana. That goes until 6:15 Eastern time. That's severe thunderstorm warning for Jennings County, Indiana. I'm going to clear that out of the way. I'm going to put another track on this as well. Generally, it looks like around 40, 45 mile per hour with the speed of this line of storms. So we'll go ahead and bring this up over here. So we'll go here from near Seymour and drag this down into Washington County, Indiana, near Salem. And we're going to pull this to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And then I'm going to bring this up full screen so that you can see the latest track that I just put on here for you. So we've got this heads up here for you guys in Austin, heading your way in just about 10 minutes. Scottsburg, 5:42. So you're looking at about 10, 15 minutes heading your way. North Vernon, 5:46 time frame. DuPont, 5:56. Into Holton at 6. Madison, Indiana, 6:10. Osgood at 6:11. Versailles, 6:13. And Milan at 6:23. So there you go. There's some of that timing of that line of storms. We've had a history of some isolated damaging wind gusts, a little bit of hail involved here, lots and lots and lots of lightning strikes as well. The southern end hasn't been filling in yet. All right, here's the water cup my mom gave me, this cute little Yeti. All right, we're going to take that track off. Need to go ahead and delete that, clear that out. So let me go and turn the radar off real quick, and let me get rid of those warnings as well. And what I'm wanting to bring up is this is some information here. Like take just a second to load. From the Storm Prediction Center. Clear that off. So this is the convective available energy that when we're predicting how much fuel the thunderstorms have, off the charts. Tropical air, 3,500 joules per kilogram. So that's just something to look at. This is 850 millibar winds. The winds at about 5,000 feet. So it's showing 50-mile-per-hour winds. I think this is a little bit behind, maybe a couple hours behind. Like, so that little low-level jet's now a little bit farther to the east than what you see there. And so this is a big key to our severe weather threat around the region. Where the wind is stronger to the north, that's where the storms are going to be stronger and more organized. So that's where we see in central Indiana that greater threat of severe storms. And way to go, little laptop here. Little laptop is chugging along. All right. All right, let's go 700 millibar winds. So now we're up at 10,000 feet. And you can see 60-mile-per-hour winds there. And so that jet is moving through central Indiana. So that's where we're going to see more likely more storm reports. And there you go. We've got way more storm reports here around Indianapolis. Of course, you got a higher population. But around Indianapolis, so just a lot of wind gust reports over 60 miles per hour. Numerous large oak trees down there, the north side of Indy, east side of Indy, some thunderstorm wind gusts, tree limb down over Post Road in Indianapolis, east side of Indianapolis, in Marion County there. So yeah, a lot of tree limbs, trees down around Indianapolis, near that jet core that's already moved to the east. So this is like an hour or two behind, but it does show us where the strongest winds are at the surface and aloft. 500 millibar height winds. So this is at 18,000 feet, and you can see the strongest winds are to the north. What does this mean? As we go, let's go back to 700 millibar wind, and let me take off some of the storm reports just to clean this up. So why this is good for Kentucky, by the way, and perhaps some areas of far southern Indiana, is that the strongest winds are up here in central Indiana. That's where your stronger storms are going to be. When you get down here away from those jet winds, then you're looking at more, again, tropical downpours, lots of lightning strikes, maybe a flood threat, but you're not looking at, we're taking away the tornado ingredient. So that's good. That's why a lot of areas east of I-65 do not have a tornado watch. You're just not. Wind energy is a big severe weather ingredient. Central Indiana has most of that wind energy. So that's just a little analysis with the data from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll get rid of that, and we'll go back to radar here. That's most important. So I do want to bring back up real quick if we've seen any. Bring back up the live radar sweep and get rid of that meso data is what they call it. All right, just east of Scottsburg, you got a cell there, putting down some heavy rainfall. Around Pekin, you guys are getting in on the downpour. Heavy rain does not look severe with that. Does not look severe with that. There might be a little bit of hail just northeast of Paoli around Campbellsburg. We had a question about Campbellsburg earlier. There's a thunderstorm about to move through. I don't think there's a warning on that. Go ahead and put the warnings back on. Just barely a warning on that. That was from earlier, though. So the only severe thunderstorm warnings that we have are there over Seymour, Indiana, Brownstown, and towards North Vernon into Jennings County. I'll go ahead and bring all of this up full screen and get myself out of the way once again. So there you can see the situation that we have. So these storms, as we put up the distance tool, we got a downpour about 20 miles northwest of Louisville, up near Scottsburg, about 25 miles northwest of Louisville. The biggest and the worst of the storms, they're about 30 miles north of Louisville. And of course, Seymour's exit 50, so 50 miles north of Louisville. All right, let me get rid of that. And I will hit the play button here so we can see the motion of these storms. And go back to full screen there for you. Just looking over seeing if we have any new ones here. Vicky says it's always raining. It always rains during the Washington County Fair. That is a bummer. I've got some buddies that usually have some cows in the Washington County Fair there. Ronnie Blevins, what can Palmyra expect? So not much right now. You guys are kind of in between. And hopefully this will be the main severe weather threat and move east of you, and we'll be in good shape. We've got some thunder in Borden, Indiana. Thank you, Beverly. Shelf cloud over Salem Speedway. I believe that. If you get any pictures, feel free to drop them in, share them. Shelf cloud's kind of that, I don't know what you call it, laminar or smooth, like striation kind of a cloud, kind of look like the mothership, like a spaceship almost sometimes. Very dark underneath it. The leading edge can kind of look like a little bit of a foot out ahead of the supercell. It is attached to the supercell, and right ahead of that is usually a gust front, so the winds will pick up. It'll look like Ghostbusters, the end of Ghostbusters sky, kind of. And then what is more rare is the roll cloud out ahead of that. So that's kind of along the gust front. The roll cloud's not attached to the parent thunderstorm. And my dad said 70-mile-per-hour winds, limbs down on about every road around us, lanes blocked, but able to get around them barely. And a picture from Bass, downspout at Bass Pro, using my gift card, the Father's Day gift card when it hit. Let me see if I can put this up to the camera here. So this is up in Indianapolis. I don't know if you can see. So why don't I bring this up full screen so maybe you can see it? All right. So that is the downspout at the Bass Pro up in Indianapolis. So we're showing you that central Indiana getting hit hardest. Looks like my dad's going to have to fire up the chainsaw up there. He lives on the northeast side of Indianapolis, 70-mile-per-hour winds, limbs down on about every road around us, lanes blocked to get around them. So, yeah. So sorry about that. Sometimes we get a little bit of a hiccup. And I need to bring back in our radar. So let's bring that back. There we go. All right. So, yeah. So from my dad up in Indianapolis, 70-mile-per-hour winds and some damaging wind gusts up that way. And do want to remind you at the bottom there, if you do have any roof damage, they're also hiring, by the way. You can see at the bottom of your screen, lionsroofingco.com, 812-294-3595. They're hiring for a roofing repair technician because they've been so busy since they marched. I think it was right around March 20th, hailstorm, March 17th, something like that. It seemed like every month we had a severe weather event this season. Crazy year of weather. We need it to just settle down, which it is going to settle down soon and then turn into a heat wave. And the heat wave is going to evaporate all the water in the ground. And you know what that means? Incredibly muggy weather. All right, let me get back here. Oh, so Vicky was saying shelf cloud over the Salem Speedway. They're just west of Salem. So that means that totally makes sense here, Vicky, because you can see on the radar loop, out ahead of that storm heading your way. Right near West Wash High School. Ronnie Blevins Jr., keep up the great work. Thanks for tuning in here. Thankfully, maybe I'm kind of good luck, knock on wood, with these severe weather events, these tornado watches, because when we pop in, I don't want to say we dodged it, because last time we had trees down all over Borden. We had 3 trees down in my mom's backyard back May 16th, I think that was, just about a month ago. We got all those trees cleared up. But we didn't have tornadoes with that, thankfully. Kentucky did. So right now, the worst is really where the low-level jet is to the north. And we're going to have to see if this tries to fill into the south. Right now, it's behaving on the south end of this system. Starting to see some heavy rain picking up there around Pekin, Indiana. And that's staying just off to the northwest of Borden, where they're fixing the bridge there. And it looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. So let me hit pause on the power. My dad says power out in the next road parallel to their sirens going off to. This was a good blow, he says. Yeah, they've had. I don't know why the sirens would be going off, because the storms are off to the east now. But to my friends and family in Richmond, Indiana, you can see that model did a good job, by the way. Let me bring up the radar in Indianapolis. I don't know if you're watching the HER weather model. It had that Boeing out in east central Indiana. That's exactly what's happening. So let me try to bring up the Indianapolis radar. See if we can bring up that live sweep. KIND. So it's trying to load it right now. Yes, so that's the bow right there heading towards Richmond. So that could be winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. So my father-in-law, mother-in-law, get ready here. So that is the Boeing segment heading right to east central Indiana, around Newcastle, Indiana, if you know where that is, Richmond, Indiana. There's the potential for some considerable damage with that. In fact, this severe thunderstorm warning says wind gusts possibly around 70 miles per hour. That's what my dad just had move through Indianapolis. So straight line wind event in central Indiana. Now we could still, north, I would say Scottsburg north, still the potential for some damaging wind gusts as well. The latest severe thunderstorm warning that we have in southern Indiana is here from Scottsburg up to near Madison to DuPont, northern Jefferson County, Indiana. 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible, maximum hail size 1 inch. We're not seeing a whole lot of hail around the area. And this severe thunderstorm warning goes till 6:30 p.m. The motion of that storm, these have been moving at about 40 to 50 miles per hour to the northeast. So at the moment, Louisville still doing a storm dodge. New Albany, storm dodge. Charlestown, Sellersburg. The knobs, all the storms booming to the north. Lots of lightning strikes. Oh, Vicky, bad news. The Cards lost. They're out of Omaha, unfortunately. Jill Hillen saying, thank you for the live coverage. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Laura says, yikes, stay safe. And let me bring up, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. So we have the very freshest data at extolmag.com/weather. I'll remind you guys too, whether it's watching, live severe weather event or Monday through Friday event at 10, that you can go to youtube.com. And so this is my live stream right here playing right now. I'm gonna turn my audio down so I don't echo. It's loading up. So I'm hearing myself. So it's loading the live stream. So I'm live streaming while live streaming. So there you can see it on YouTube. I should probably turn that off. We might go into a warp hole or something like that. So there's my live stream while I'm live streaming. Extol media. Look for that. And then usually once you watch one video, YouTube will start throwing you other videos. So you can see my other live streams there from this morning. We're timing out these storms that we're tracking now. So like and subscribe, and you'll get more of these videos. And if you don't want to watch them, you can just blow right past it on YouTube. But when it matters, you'll have it ready to go there. There you can see Extol media. This is extolmag.com. Here's the interactive radar on the right side. I'm controlling that right now. There you can see all the lightning strikes, 7-day forecast, which we still have a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. I can go ahead and bring up the 7-day forecast. I'll get me out of the way once again. So tomorrow around 84, not as warm. A front will move through in the morning, and we still have a chance for isolated shower or storm. Nothing severe tomorrow, and then upper 80s Friday. That is our last day of spring as summer begins Friday night at 10:42. Our first summer weekend starting to heat up. Now, Saturday, I don't think the humidity is crazy. It's going to be humid, but not crazy, 91. And then the humidity is crazy on Sunday, 93, heat index around 100. Low mid-90s, heat index 100, 105. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're stuck under high pressure. And that might bring some stagnant air as well. Air quality alerts maybe for next week. We're evaporating a lot of the moisture out of the ground, but at least a lot of the crews out there that need to get work done, like Lions Roofing at the bottom here, Libs Paving, that had a lot of job openings because how busy it's been weather-wise, and get some work done outdoors. Hot work, but at least the rain won't prevent them from working. All right. You can also see, this will take you right to the Storm Prediction Center. Any watches or warnings are posted right here. You got your regional radar, and then at the bottom is the full screen interactive radar at extolmag.com/weather. And then as we back up the view just a little bit, I just want to take a look at all the lightning strikes. So there are dozens and dozens of lightning strikes here with this activity up around Seymour, Indiana, and heading towards North Vernon. And then you can also put on storm tracks. And you click on a storm track, it's going to automatically pop up where that storm is going, how fast it's moving. It's got it moving northeast at 45. Boom, that's right up what the National Weather Service has been targeting them at, what I've been targeting them at, 40 to 50 mile per hour. So that is heading towards Whippoorwill Lake Dam, Vernon, Indiana, 10 minutes. South County Road 700 West, Otter Creek, Indiana, 20 minutes. North County Road 375 East, Delaware Township, Indiana, 30 minutes. And we put on another storm track here. And it'll also show you if there's circulation, if there's rotation. So that says moderate circulation, strong winds possible, 2 to 4 inch rainfall rates per hour. As tropical, just about as tropical as our air can get. Here's another storm track for that cell near Pekin, Indiana, moving to the northeast. Just waiting on that one to load here. Strong winds likely, it says. Moving northeast at 40. So that's heading towards North Sunnyside Road in Scottsburg, Indiana. Little Rest Farm Road in Comiskey, Indiana, in 20 to 30 minutes. That cell there. Again, you can find all kinds of amazing weather technology all over the place. This is free, available. You don't have to download apps or anything. Extolmag.com/weather. Check that out. If you got a second, you can do the exact same thing I'm doing right now. On the left side, you can see the different tools that you have to use. I'm going to take off the storm tracks. There you go. Leave up the lightning so you can see all that lightning strike activity there. All right, we'll go ahead and bring back up the radar. So we took a little detour for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and bring down that app real quick. Bring it back up as well. I'm going to leave up that radar for a second. So thanks for tuning in, by the way. Just doing some live coverage here at 5:50 p.m. on our June 18th. As we had a tornado watch in place until 9 p.m. Do think that'll get canceled early. And I'm going to zoom back in. I need to take off those site labels there. All right, let's zoom back in. We're back on the Louisville radar and back live. And let's, since we haven't toured the radar here in a second. Oh, cool. On my golf scramble the other day, I won $25 for the longest putt. Thank you, Jim Schuld, for letting me know that. All right. Here is the latest. As we do another tour of the radar. So heavy rain, maybe some thunder here around Hardinsburg. That is not severe. It does not have a warning on it. So Hardinsburg, Irvington, you're going to get some rain here in a little bit. As we move into Harrison County, Indiana, there you can see a cell that is just south of Corden, down 135, just south of you guys. That's going to be heading towards New Middletown with some heavy rain your direction soon. That is not severe. And then north of Corden, heading towards Crandall, you guys will get some rainfall here in just a second. You got light rain around Georgetown. Louisville Metro, not much happening. There's a little bit of a shower there around Fincastle. Maybe a sprinkle here and there. Nothing happening in Sellersburg. Getting the old storm dodge right now around Charlestown, Sellersburg, Memphis, Henryville, Clark County, we'll just say, Borden, New Albany, Jeff. We're looking good so far. With that said, there are still a couple of showers off to the southwest. Pretty decent cell here as we get farther up, just northwest of Henryville. And around Scottsburg, you're about to get some heavy rainfall. Austin, Indiana, you see you just had some heavy rain pass through your area. The worst of this heading towards North Vernon right now in DuPont. And just heads up there, Hanover, Madison, you got some storms heading your way here over the next 20 minutes or so. The backside of this, not severe, but it's, what is this, the third rain you've had move through Salem? Looks like another, you're going to get clipped by another downpour there here briefly in Salem, Indiana, and up 135 as you head towards Medora. Beautiful valleys there in northern Washington County. Give it up to Washington County for being God's country up there. It's beautiful. Take a Sunday drive up that way sometime. All right, just looking here. So again, if we don't see anything else develop here, we'll kind of monitor this a little bit, but we're kind of doing a good job dodging the storm. The worst of it, central Indiana, east central Indiana, where it's been bowing out. Let's bring up the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather. We haven't looked at it for an hour or so and see how it looks compared to what's actually happening in real life. So we'll pop up the future radar. And we need to go to time now. That's later tonight, by the way. That's not now. So we need to go to 6 p.m. So here's 6 o'clock. How is it looking compared to reality? Well, pretty good in Kentucky where we don't see much happening. There's not that much on the southern end. Timing, not bad. It's got it moving into North Vernon right now, and it is at 6 o'clock. This is the weather model data at 6 o'clock. I think the HER is doing the best job with the mathematics, trying to represent reality. As we go to 7 o'clock, the storm moving towards Madison. It'll be there probably before that. There could be a couple isolated cells on the backside. You can see that around Bloomington. This is 7 p.m. And we might start to see those downpours get a little bit heavier in some spots in Kentucky. This is 7 p.m. Just west of Elizabethtown. All right, we'll go to 8 o'clock. So it looks like there's not much wind in the atmosphere with these storms. They slow down, and that could become kind of a flood issue for Kentucky. All right. We've got Bonnie saying it is sunny in Mount Washington right now. Thank you very much for that. And okay, so that's 8 p.m. Let's go to 9 o'clock. And so it does show that line slows down, fills in more in Kentucky, and there could be some areas that deal with some flash flooding with that. We're going to watch out for that. And then, yes, some downpours will be possible behind that main line later on tonight, but they're not expected to be severe. We're back. We're losing that jet energy that's to the north, and so we're back to just kind of tropical downpours every once in a while. Mary Dale, I'm going to start relaxing now. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, we like to know whether we're under the threat or in the clear. When you got the ingredients that can produce tornadic activity or severe storms or straight line winds, you got to watch it very closely. The worst of it has been over central Indiana. And through the late night hours, there are going to be some occasional showers and thunderstorms, some downpours. You might hear that rain coming down, but I'm not expecting severe weather late tonight. So we might be able to wrap this up if things continue to behave the way they are right now. I'm going to go ahead and bring back up the live sweep. So that shows the tornado watch that's still in place. Again, I do think that'll be canceled early for many areas. It goes until 9 p.m. No warnings for Kentucky. The only warnings that we have are up here near Madison, Scottsburg, North Vernon, for the potential of some isolated damaging wind gusts. And let me get rid of the watch, clear the map up a little bit better. And then I want to bring back up storm reports, see if we've had any storm reports here. I know you guys are on here, and we haven't had many storm reports, so that is good. And I don't see any reports of damage, thankfully, from these storms in our southern Indiana counties right now. Oh, JKs, you're welcome. Nobody needs that hype. Nobody needs more anxiety in the world we live in these days. Oh, we got some cancels. Parts of the tornado watch canceled. Cancellations. Words are getting tough. I've been up since 5 o'clock. That's for Lawrence County. It's been taken out of that. So that's great news from the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service. That's what you want to see. Starting to chop off parts of the tornado watch. And I'm just looking at the National Weather Service's chats. This was from a few minutes ago from meteorologist there. For the storm potential in Kentucky, mid-level instability is meager so far, even though low-level instability looks better with a warm air mass in place. Yeah, heat index 90s. Shear is weaker in Kentucky compared to Indiana. We saw that as we did the analysis. The wind shear is greater up in central Indiana. So the new cells just can't keep from falling back down again. We'll have to see if any of the low-level jet forms in the next few hours to bring about a little more shear and promote more growth over Kentucky. So basically waiting, now casting to see if a little bit of wind energy will kind of kick up on the southern end, and will we see really anything fill in. But as we back out the view, you can see all the activity Scottsburg north so far. Marydale, I can get out of the bunker now. Hopefully soon. And get some dinner. Madison, Indiana, just thunder and wind right now. Thank you, Andy Richmer, for that report there. We can go into Madison. So you've got that storm on the way there. We're zoomed into Madison. We'll go full screen. So this was from a report that went into Indianapolis. This was at 5:18, so 40 minutes ago. South of Orleans, Indiana, possible 2 funnel clouds tracking were spotted. It was a delayed report. Maybe a touchdown with trees and power lines down on Rivervale Road, Lawrence County, south of the White River. So it looks like some maybe some damage there in southern Lawrence County, northern Orange County. A couple of damage reports there. Ron, stop listening to the liars. I'm not sure what you mean by that one. I'm just looking over some of the comments here in the National Weather Service chat. Thankfully, there's not much going on. All right, guys. Lillian Lasley has 86 degrees. It is toasty out there still. So in Louisville, there are just a couple of cells that are starting to pop up. Near Lanesville, you got a downpour there. And then up in Greenville, Indiana, you've got a downpour there. You've got some showers starting to kick up in downtown Louisville. None of this is severe. And then down here, it's like south of the casino, a little shower there in southeastern Harrison County. Some heavier rain starting to pick up in northern Breckinridge County, crossing over into Meade County. But the worst of the storms here are in Jennings County, Indiana. It looks like a little bit of a hail core just south of Vernon, just west of DuPont. So there might be some decent hail coming out of that, and maybe some isolated damaging wind gusts. Could be a little bit of hail southeast of Scottsburg, where we see a little bit of that purple there. That's along 356 and near 31. So some really heavy rain coming down around Scottsburg and I-65, some lightning and thunder. Not seeing anything tornadic. The only severe thunderstorms we have, severe thunderstorm warning for 27 more minutes. That barely clips Madison to DuPont to Austin, Scottsburg, and then also that severe thunderstorm warning for 12 more minutes for Jennings County, Indiana. Elsewhere, just not organized. Just kind of are the normal pop-ups that we've had recently. So thank goodness for that. And then that Boeing segment that I've been watching here north of Richmond, Indiana. There's just some bow echoes there near Connorsville. Indianapolis getting a break now. Let me bring up the radar and satellite combined. And just look at the big broad view here all together. I'm going to take off the watches. We're going to be chugging on a lot of data here. Let's get rid of the watches. Let's get rid of the warnings. Too much stuff. Let's get rid of the storm reports. So hopefully that is the main event. The good storm dodge for most of us. It looks like some localized reports of some damaging wind gusts in a few areas. Let me put on a, I don't like that. Let me go visible satellite. So there we go. That main line of storms moving into eastern Indiana, and the front has still not moved through. So you still see some showers and thunderstorms well off to the northwest. No big deal with that for us for tonight, but it's still going to give us a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. And then Friday begins the dry weather pattern and the heat wave. Well, I wouldn't say Friday's the heat wave. Saturday's going to be hot, 90. And then Sunday beyond, you got the heat and the humidity. I would call that the heat wave. Sunday and through much of next week. Boy, it has been a crazy spring. Let's say good riddance to this springtime, as it's just been too much rain. So many cancellations. Okay. Amber asking, are the storms done after this Salem? I would say the severe thunderstorms are, but there still could be the potential for some scattered showers and thunderstorms through late tonight, but not severe with that. I'm going to bring up live sweep without all of the warnings. Take off the telestration. So Jay is asking, since just pop-up storms around Louisville, will some of us be missed, or will a line form and blast us all? You know, I think some are going to be missed, but I do think later on tonight we're still going to get some clusters of some showers and thunderstorms that will still put down some heavy rainfall. But severe weather miss, yes, I think that threat is diminishing rapidly, and we're going to see more areas getting cut off of the tornado watch. So we're once that jet moves away, that low-level jet, which is moving to the northeast, and we just get clipped by a little bit of extra wind energy than we've had lately, we're back into, I keep, comparing it to Florida tropical downpours. Heavy rain, yeah, some lightning and thunder, but the severe weather threat would be low for the rest of the night. Decent sell here, though, as we look near Hardinsburg, starting to grow a little bit there in northern Breckenridge County. You can see a few of these cells that have been just kind of trying to pop up around Louisville and out to the west. Vicky Berger, thank you for watching here this morning. It was this morning. Now it's this evening. Thanks for tuning in, Vicky. All right. Pop up the last warnings that we have right now in the tornado watch. So we've had the tornado watch is shrinking. Lawrence County is out of the tornado watch. And I do believe that once we start to see these cells move off to the east, we'll see more of this tornado watch canceled. And that would certainly be a good thing. I mean, I really think most areas west of Breckenridge County, western Kentucky, Evansville can be out of the tornado watch. And they will, I'm sure, soon start to take more of those areas out of it. And likely canceled well before 9 p.m. I'll just check the National Weather Service chat one more time. I don't see anything new there. Okay, yeah. No new reports. Good stuff. We're doing a storm dodge. $5.42. So that little cell that popped up in Louisville. So that was what, half hour ago? In Anchorage, east side of Louisville. A tree fell blocking Fraze Hill Road near Tom Sawyer State Park. So that little tiny cell, I guess, put down a little bit of a wind gust. Sometimes, though, these can collapse and they produce little microburst winds. And so they won't have a warning on them because they're such small cells. So that portions of these storms can collapse, these tropical storms, not a tropical storm, but a tropical-like thunderstorm. When it collapses, it could put down a little microburst wind. So you do have this cell that has just popped up here over Jeff. So you got some heavy rain coming down there over downtown Jeffersonville. And then out west down 64. As you head up towards the knobs, you got some heavy rain there at 64. And 64, that exit, that Georgetown exit. And then some heavy rain north of Galena. Out to the west of Sellersburg. Sellersburg's got a little shower there. And then up north, Scottsburg, east and west of you, you've got some thunderstorm activity. Austin, still some heavy rain that'll pass through here over the next 15 minutes. You can look at the motion of these storms. Kind of east-northeast motion with that. Peyton, thanks for watching from Upton, Kentucky. Things are quiet your way. And then northern sections there of Jefferson County still under that severe thunderstorm warning. And that goes until 6:30. So about 20 more minutes. Just clips parts of Madison. And then hopefully the worst of it moving east of you, North Vernon in Jennings County. Little pop-up downpour here just west of Brownstown along Highway 50, right between Brownstown and Bedford, Indiana. So even though severe weather threat going way down, don't be surprised by some lightning and thunder and some occasional heavy rain through late tonight. And then you got your heavy rain down here and heading towards Irvington. So get ready, Irvington, with some heavy rainfall around the Ekron area, Brandenburg. Slow mover. This thing is not in a hurry. There you can see the motion of that one. Get rid of the watch there so you can see that a little bit better. We'll wrap things up here pretty soon. Is there any bad weather? The severe weather chances are super duper low for you there, Peyton. I do think that this tornado watch for much of the area will be canceled pretty soon. We are starting to see a few of these little pop-up organized showers. No warnings on any of these. But here we go. We got shower about to head to my mom's backyard here. So yeah, we've got some rain. We got some sunshine and rain. Maybe we'll get a rainbow out of this. A little rain up Highway 60 is where we are. But between Jeffersonville and Oak Park, southern Clark County, heavy rain coming down. Nothing severe with that. Probably some occasional lightning strike. This downpour has moved to the intersection of 265 and 64. There over the knobs. Right around Highlander Point area. Looks like by Starlight, you've got some rain coming down. Just got the live sweep. And yeah, we're just getting these little poppers popping up just east of Valley Station, right along the Snyder, just to the northwest of Fairdale. A little shower popping up there. This shower's moving over the river from Jeff, heading to right around Glenview, Utica, Goose Creek. Prospect might get clipped by that heavy rainfall. I'm just kind of zipping around, doing a little tour of the radar here. Nothing severe with any of this. And a little shower there northeast of Goshen in Oldham County. Pretty good cell here. Probably get some hail. Might get an isolated damaging wind gust heading towards Madison, Indiana. So heads up there, Madison, over the next 15 minutes. That severe thunderstorm warning goes for 15 more minutes for Madison, for northern chunk of Jefferson County, Indiana. And then back behind that, you've got this cell that has some heavy rain, some lightning and thunder for Austin. There you go. There's downtown Austin. What's up, guys? There you go. There you get some heavy rainfall there. That goes to right near Crothersville, to Little York. Might get some hail potential in that. And we can bring up just 1 second here. The hail product. Which is trying to load. Yeah, small chances of some severe hail out of this. This one has that's one of the better ones we've seen as far as hail. East of Scottsburg, between Scottsburg and Hanover. Hail probability 100%. Severe hail probability 60%, up to 2 inches in size. A lot of times we would half that number, that 2 inch in this tropical air. So there could be up to about inch size hail down 256 east of Austin. Right there in that hail core right there. So don't know if you know anybody that lives out that direction. We can label some of the streets here. That's, again, State Road 56. You got County Road. Let's see if we'll pop back up. There's State Road 3 at 256, County Road 200 north. Lots of county roads here in that hail core. It's hard to get my cursor over it. County Road 250 north. County Road 100 north. So this is Scott County into Jefferson County. Is right where we have that hail core right there. And that's heading to Madison within the next, I'd say, 15 minutes. If that holds together, could put down some hail, some isolated damaging wind gusts there. Thankfully, haven't seen any significant rotation out of any of this stuff. And it's got the speed around 40 miles per hour to the northeast with that hail. And just a couple pop-up garden variety showers popping up kind of around Louisville and Clark County, Indiana, but nothing severe with that. I'll take off those cells. I'm going to take off the hail. So still have that tornado watch until 9. Do think a large portion of this should be canceled pretty early. A little pop-up there around Paoli as well. Western portions of Orange County, Indiana, around French Lick. You've got a little pop-up shower there for you. And again, we'll have that. We're going to have that from time to time through late tonight. This atmosphere is not changing. This juiced up tropical atmosphere is not going anywhere. So it doesn't take much. You sneeze and a pop-up shower is going to be possible. Laura's got the rain there in Valley Station, just light rain. Major thunder in Brandenburg from Emily. Thanks for that report. Hey, Wyatt Wright. Thanks for watching. So Emily from Brandenburg was saying major thunder there. So that is a storm producing some lightning and thunder. It's not severe, though. Putting down some heavy rainfall there in Meade County and then into Breckenridge County. Irvington about to get some of that heavy rainfall there. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap things up. We did a pretty good storm dodge. A lot of us have done a pretty good storm dodge. I would just say heads up, Madison, watch in Hanover. Watch out for this cell that could produce a little bit of hail for your area, maybe some isolated damaging wind gusts as that passes on through. So the latest from the National Weather Service saying good hail core over the storm in Scott, southwest side of the current warning. That's what we have up right now. That one expires in 10 minutes, so may briefly have a couple of overlap warnings. Also watching the cell in Breckenridge County shows some signs of life for some Kentucky storms. But I really do think that tornado threat is really low, and we'll see a lot of that being canceled early. This is the storm showing some signs of life, and it does. My dad said lost a tree in Fortville. So I'll try to bring this up for you. So up in Indianapolis was where they had the 70-mile-per-hour winds. So let's see if I can put this up. So there you go. Strong winds, tree down up there. So my dad's bringing the chainsaw out there, chopping up some trees. All right. Before we leave, that cell's still looking pretty healthy here in east central Breckenridge County into Meade County. We do have a warning out for that. Severe thunderstorm warning, brand new here for Emily. This is for you, Emily Wilkins. Possibility of some hail and some isolated damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. You know, and in this juicy atmosphere, might just have to watch for a little bit of rotation every once in a while. I don't think it's going to be very common. Pretty light winds there. This is a look at the velocity mode. These are all pretty light winds for the most part. Maybe a little, that might not even be real. All right. We go back to the reflectivity. So yeah, it's showing some signs of life here around Irvington, likely getting some hail in that area. Let me know if you're in the Irvington area and what you're getting. Which way is that storm moving from Brandenburg? I can show you. It's moving to the northeast. I'd say around 30 to 40 miles per hour. So heading toward West Point, that northern little tip of Hardin County. Much of eastern Meade County being touched by that. If that holds together, that might start to head toward, Fort Knox, western Bullitt County. Maybe clipping Valley Station. PRP has a shower. Just east of PRP, near Iroquois. That Prospect storm growing up a little bit. That moves from Jeffersonville. Heavy rain there and over the River Bluff area. And then just a little sliver of a severe thunderstorm warning here still for near Madison and Hanover. Still a potential for some hail there. Eastern Scott and into Jefferson County, Indiana. The worst of it now moving to the east of you, as you can see here in Austin. and Scottsburg, moving east of you guys. Shower went from French Lick, now near Paoli. So there you go. They're starting to see some signs of life, kind of like the models were showing with some of these cells. We'll see if they kind of expand and kind of congeal over parts of Kentucky, and more of a flood issue than severe weather threat overall. So severe thunderstorm warning there. Again, this is the latest severe thunderstorm warning that we have, and that is out until 6:45 Eastern time. Oh, yeah, Alex, just severe thunderstorm warning. The severe on this program, the severe thunderstorm warnings are purple. And Mary Dale says it rained for about 2 minutes in New Albany, then the sun is out. Yeah, it just reminds me of being on the beach, those little pop-up tropical downpours. One last thing, I'm just going to go to the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. It's been the best so far. We'll look at future radar, then I'm going to wrap this thing up. And let me go ahead and let's jump ahead in the time. Let's go to 7 p.m. Handling things pretty well. So this is not real radar. This is the I just call it mathematical radar, the future radar, the weather model data. And it's handling things pretty well overall. This is at 8 p.m. Kind of slow moving, and then some more occasional pop-up downpours. So definitely not done with rain tonight. Maybe some thunder, but severe weather threat as we get to and past sunset, going down pretty rapidly. All right. Hopefully we'll continue to do the storm dodge we've been doing. I'm going to bring back up. I'm going to refresh extolmag.com. Reminder here, thankfully, it did not get too exciting here for us, thankfully. But if you Monday through Friday, we've got a live show. It goes about 45 minutes every day. We talk about all things weather, maybe nature, whatever you guys want to talk about. You can find that at Extol Media, EXTOL. Like, subscribe, we appreciate it. And if you go watch one of these videos, you can. What my mom does upstairs, brings it up on the big screen. A lot easier to do. Smart TVs, they have the YouTube app, so free to do. And check us out there. And yeah, Monday through Friday, Ben at 10. Mondays, we've got Extol Unfiltered with Angie Fenton, and we'll talk about whatever as well coming off the weekend on Mondays. But you might see other videos that'll pop up. Like I'll put today's severe weather threat. So this is just looking at the YouTube channel. A lot of times I'll clip out the weather model portion, looking ahead hour by hour, or the forecast, or looking at the summer heat wave right here. So a lot of informational videos, explainers. If you're into weather, I think you'll find a lot that you'll have to offer there. So check that out. EXTOL Media on YouTube. Might take you just a second to search it. EXTOL MEDIA, and then go ahead and subscribe. We appreciate that. extolmag.com/weather. It shows me up here live streaming right now. So there are a lot of ways you can find the live stream. You got extolmag.com/weather. You've got YouTube, my Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, and then Extol Weather on Facebook. So this has been me in the basement, in the bunker, in Borden, Indiana, in my mom's basement. Thanks, Mom, for having me here. Thanks for the water. It's dinner time. Thankfully, so far, we've been dodging the severe weather. Severe weather threat looks like it's going to be pretty low for the rest of tonight. There might be an occasional warning. The tornado threat looks low. Looks like that low-level jet's moving off to the northeast. East Central Indiana got the worst of those damaging winds. And I think we'll wrap things up here. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Ben at 10. Again, on all those places that we just talked about. It is Ben Peine, Peine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Trusting your Southern Indiana weather source and beyond. Of course, we'll take a look across the river all the time as well. Quiet but dark there in Buchel. Thanks for watching, Curtis Gaines and Diane Paul. Thanks for tuning in as well. Laura, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a safe night.